Okay, so we are going to do the rolled hem, and you want to put your rolled hem foot on. Okay, so this is the same as the rolled hem where we stitch it twice. The difference is this time we're going to use a foot. This usually is when you want to use this foot when you have a really long hem, like evening wear hem, and need to do a baby hem or sheer fabric. And this will save you some time so you won't have to stitch it twice. But it is hard to control and it's difficult to start because you really have to control the width of the fabric that will be turned inside of the foot. So I'm gonna go ahead and remember not to take that screw off all the way so you don't lose it. Just gonna tighten my screw, lower my presser foot lever here. Okay, and I'm actually going to move my threads out of the way. Now, for this sample, we also used that same template that was cut on the fold. Okay, so I'm gonna open it up. And what you wanna do is to get it started, take a pin, and I wanna take the corner of my fabric and make sure it kind of rolls through here. And I'm gonna take the pin and scoot the edge of my fabric back until I get to at least my needle here. I'm gonna stitch this on number 3 stitch. And I'm gonna go ahead and lower my presser foot. I wanna make sure that my fabric is not getting caught here because then it won't stitch and turn. It will just lay my fabric down flat and turn. And that's not what I want. So I just need to do a little bit of an adjustment. This is the hardest part, just getting started. Okay, so again, I want to make sure no fabric is there. And I want to try to hold the opening, at the opening, hold my fabric sort of at a slant. Okay, I'm not going to back tack because normally this is a circular hem. So I can just stitch back over and back tack when I finish. So I'm going to go ahead and start stitching just to get it started. And then we'll take a look at it. So I like to keep my fabric just a tiny bit wider than the opening and keep my finger on it just to make sure that it is actually turning. The action happens in that corner there. And make sure it's actually turning and stitching. So I should have a fold here, which I do, and it's not just stitching. I shouldn't have a raw edge here, which I don't. Okay, so it's turning and stitching as long as I control the fabric width. Now, if I get too much fabric in there, it will do something like this. Okay, and I'll have a raw edge lip there. If I get too little fabric, it will just stitch down. It won't turn and stitch. Okay, so you really want to control the amount there. There are different widths of this foot. So this one stitches at 1/4 inch hem. And you can find these feet at 1/8 of an inch. I think I've seen the 1 inch, a 1/2 inch, all the way down to a 32nd of an inch for really tiny baby hem for fine projects. Usually the numbers are in metric, so you'd have to measure it to make sure you have the right numbers when you order the foot. Okay, so it's getting a little tricky at the end because I think I let a little bit too much fabric in there. And I'm just gonna let it stitch off. Yeah, it looks like it might have turned over at the end. There we go. Nope, it's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and clip my thread. Okay, so here's my rolled hem. Here's the right side. So if I were stitching with my same fabric or with my same color thread, I would just see my hem on the outside. And then my fold on the other side. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and press it, and that one is finished.